The most important Mercedes model worldwide is still the Mercedes C-Class, and here it is in the all-new generation. W206 is the code, and this is the new AMG line with the front grille, which has this A shape, so wider in the lower part, now a little bit shorter in the upper part, sporty appearance, and a new Mercedes star pattern in this AMG line. Soon I'll also show you how the Avantgarde looks like, and selenite grey Magno, this matte paint, one of my favorite ones, so either Thomas Blue, I'll also show you a great Thomas Blue soon, or in this matte paint. And lamps here, standard LED, and optional a so-called digital light, and with a more elaborated high beam function, it also can serve as some kind of projector. But overall, a sporty look definitely for the new C-Class for all versions. And if you don't have the AMG line, but the Avantgarde trim level here, then you have this front grille with the vertical fins like this, and so the vertical black fins and the big horizontal chrome fin. Also looks quite sportier now from the base version. With 4,75 m or 187 inches, the new C-Class is around 6.5 centimeters or around 2.5 inches longer, and also grown a little bit in wheelbase. This will affect the rear seating. Soon more to that. Suspension, base suspension, sport suspension, or today we have it here also the adaptive suspension. The air suspension is no more, but I can tell you in the driving part, I will talk a lot about the suspension. It will be quite interesting, I can promise. And another technology feature, rear axis steering. We also have it here on the vehicle today. So at lower speeds, it turns in the opposite direction than the front wheels. This is actually faking a shorter wheelbase and will reduce the turning circle. So a great technology we have not seen on the mid-size segment yet. And in numbers, up to 2.5 degrees, it turns in the opposite direction with the rear axis steering. And the turning circle is reduced by 40 centimeters or 16 inches, really massive. However, up or over a threshold of 60 kilometers or 37 miles per hour, then rear axis steering turns in the same direction than the front wheels. And this is giving more stability at higher speeds. Yeah, definitely really crucial technology, but of course also pricey. Then here design, really sleek, especially in this paint again. Horizontally drawn tail lamps. This brings more modern style and also stresses the width of the vehicle. Here you can open the trunk and see it here for the first time in the C-Class. Here the tail lamps are split then actually like this. Pretty interesting and actually quite good accessible. This is then the Sedan trunk, 455 liters and 1 meter or 40 inches in length. And the height here for the Sedan about 20 inches or 50 centimeters. Backpack easily fits in there, and then we can release the seats from here. And this is really very well done. Hardly see that with the Sedan that this works. We don't have to go around. Immediately we can load all the things through. Well done. Even a little bit better with the Estate, I can tell you. And this is the Estate version, the famous T-Modell, as we say in Germany. S206 is the internal code. Of course, the same length and so on. We also have the 19-inch wheels here and my favorite color, spectral blue. Just beautiful. That's what we call Thomas Blue here on Autogefühl. The difference definitely here than in the rear for a little bit more headroom and of course more luggage space. But I think for an Estate car, it still looks quite dynamic here also in the AMG line. So which one would you actually go for? The Sedan or the Estate? And this is really interesting to see here in spectral blue a Sedan from the rear, and then in spectral blue here the Estate from the rear. There you can see, okay, it doesn't look that dynamic, you know, just as a Sedan. Of course, a little bit more bulky, but then it's more practical. However, the tail lamps are also horizontally drawn. That makes a more modern appearance. And also fake exhaust alert here for the Autogefühl fake exhaust police. 455 liters in capacity for the Sedan, here 490 liters for the Estate. The length here is the very same, 1 meter or 40 inches, but of course the huge advantage here to load things in and out easily and also higher things, and this is also cool. Look at that, once again, see when I close it here, you can see this stays, there we go. See it here? It automatically goes down. We rather see that in segments above that or something, but here to have it in a mid-size segment, and once again it raises automatically, have this one in the mid-size segment, this is really cool. And also here, look at that, possibility to fold the seats, click, so easy, and they directly fold flat like this. That's how it's supposed to be, so really awesome setup here for an Estate. And this is then a little bit less than 80 inches or 2 meters, so a little bit less, so very well usable. I mean, yeah, I'm really impressed this is really exactly how we need an estate to be as for the loading area. As for engines, 2-liter 4-cylinder diesel, then the 1.5-liter turbo petrol engine and a 2-liter petrol engine. This one here today is C300, 258 horsepower, mild hybrid technology, optional all-wheel drive. And I think I would really go for this one, not for the lower displacement engine. Rather pick a little bit more displacement and then a little bit less in the horsepower figure of the each individual spec. That's definitely better for the engine. Next to mild hybrid technology, also real plug-in hybrids available. 25 kilowatt-hour battery, so quite big for this segment, and that means up to 100 kilometers or 60 miles of pure electric range. That's of course really promising. We also have one driving part already with the plug-in hybrid. You can also tune into that video. Yeah, and the only thing real sports car fans have to swallow, with the 2-liter 4-cylinder petrol engine, that will also come for the AMG models, for all of them. Then interior. This is visually actually really fancy. AMG line steering wheel. There's also another steering wheel available in the non-AMG line, of course. Digital instruments, everything digitalized, and nice ambient lighting here in the air vents, and they also look really, really fancy, right? And the whole cockpit is also leant towards the driver. Seating here, in this case here, this is animal skin spec, but you can hardly see it. I'll soon also show you the animal-free seat, which is also as good as this one in different colors and trims and so on. Comfortable seating position, and with Monometer 86 or 6'1", still have some headroom left. Yeah, I can put the seat a little bit lower like this, but it's better actually when the seat is a little bit more upright, because that way I'm falling backwards at the moment, and when I put it a little bit higher, then the seat surface is a little bit more upright. Digital instruments right there, they're actually quite fancy and they are really fast, so good processing power. So when you, for example, here hit the nav screen like this, you have a GPS integration all over the place. This is really fast, so even faster than the central infotainment system, and of course really large than overall. And now let's take a look at the different trim and also other color from the inside actually. Look at that. We have some other decor elements and most importantly this seat here. So the Artico leather red high grade is available here in bright, but also in brown and in black. And look at that, it's perforated, even has seat cooling available. That's really cool, and it's really soft and plush, so it feels great. No one would see a difference. This is one of the best examples to use alternative materials that are more sustainable and more animal friendly, yet at the same time no compromise on comfort or luxury features. So when I'm sitting here now, it's the very same comfort. No one could really tell the difference. Really soft and plush, and once again, since you also have the seat cooling right here at the inside of the doors, you can also stay cool although you have a slick surface. You know how it is with the German premium manufacturers. This screen, the 12.3 inch, is an option. Standard would be 10.25, a little smaller one. And also on the right side here, like in the new S-Class, this vertical screen, this is also an option, 11.9 inch. A smaller 9.5 inch would be standard. And then the good thing is you would have, I heard at least, some manual climate dials here, and I would prefer that. So don't go for the biggest screen, because then the climate unit here is in the screen, and we all know once again it's okay, but it's harder to control. So you can do it, but maybe you don't want to do it, Really prominently also placed once again these air vents, and nice clicking sounds here, and ambient lighting. That's something that Mercedes can do very, very well, and also everything is like wrapped tightly from the design. Let's take a look here at the infotainment unit. It looks really impressive. However, sometimes it's a little bit complicated to control, especially while driving. Stationary here is okay. Wow, well, it's really hot. So when the sun goes on the screen, and I mean, most infotainment systems are like this in the car. This one is more open. This gives an open space atmosphere, but then like, wow, you almost burn your hands. So hot is this screen then here from the sun. And when you live in Texas or something, this can really be a problem. So like this, Apple CarPlay can be accessed right here. And we have the optional Burmester sound system here. And this is really, bass intensive, good surround sound. So I can recommend that for music lovers like this. So then you can always get to the home screen back like this, but you don't have any more hotkeys just for the driving mode selection. In the rear, there's now more legroom here due to the increased wheelbase. So before it was really close. Now it's not abundance of space, but I still have like some space then in front of my knees. Now the comparison rear of the Estate, how is it different? First of all, here again the bright Artico seats. So this once again the man-made leather, as Mercedes calls it, or Artico or MB-Tex in the US. So again, also in the rear, really plush, soft, and also perforated for better climate comfort. Wow, also really impressed with that. And let's get inside. What's different to the Sedan? And you've seen when we have panoramic roof installed, which we have today in both vehicles, both Sedan and Estate. So it's very good to compare. In the Sedan, I did hit my head here at the ceiling, but here I can exactly fit in with 1,86 or 6'1". So if you're traveling with tall adults, the Estate, the T-Modell, das T-Modell, German lesson for today, then this one is here, das T-Modell, is really the better choice. Welcome to Thomas's driving lounge with the all-new Mercedes C-Class. Let's go to sports mode and accelerate from 50 kilometers to 100. Let's go. Dropped it even a little bit faster. So yeah, quite good acceleration here with the C300, which will be, oh, speed cameras, pay attention to that. C300 will be actually probably the worldwide bestseller, or one of the best sellers. We have it here in the 4MATIC version, so the all-wheel drive, and definitely more than enough power. The thing is, when you go with a smaller petrol engine, then you have also less displacement. Here is the 2-liter 4-cylinder, and the entry-level ones are the 1.5. And I always say, pick the highest displacement with the least amount of horsepower that's available, because that's the best for the engine, you know? So I really hate it when the manufacturers squeeze so much horsepower out of small engines. That cannot be good, like, you know, for long term. And the greatest thing about the new C-Class is, yeah, I mean, in some of the luxury and comfort features, it really comes close to an S-Class. Of course, it will still be a different feeling, yes. But I mean, in the sense of how you feel, you know, the grip, the thick steering wheel, then the soft plush seats, even the ones with the high-grade leatherette, Artico, MB-Tex. Also all the assistance systems and so on, or infotainment system, this really comes, you know, S-Class alike. We do not have air suspension anymore, but the adaptive suspension that we have here, even if we are in the sport mode, really combines comfort and sportiness very well. German Autobahn test here, of course, that's the thing you watch this channel for when we are in Germany. And in the sport mode, really more stable, a little bit more feedback. You can also go back to the comfort mode, and this is actually quite good to choose then here in the lower part. Normal comfort mode then gives me a little bit more dampening, a little bit more relaxing, but still it doesn't shake up at all. So yeah, some might miss the air suspension in the C-Class, but then again, the adaptive suspension here is so good that you can also easily live without it. This vehicle is also equipped with a rear axle steering here at higher speeds. That gives me more stability when I'm doing a lane change. It steers in the back in the same direction on the front wheels. And at lower speeds, opposite direction, then for a little bit more agility, actually. And that's, of course, a great new feature to have here in this very segment. Also very good as for noise insulation at 1 kilometers or 60 miles an hour. Very silent here on a motorway. That's where the C-Class is really very good. And also if you compare the other competitors in this segment, the main ones, of course, would be the Audi A4 and the BMW 3 Series, which are also really silent, no doubt about that. But here, once again, in these features here, yeah, very, very good. However, what I do criticize still is something of the user interface, and especially while driving. So imagine, you know, so let's see, I want to adjust the mirrors, and then, oh no, capacitive buttons again, and you know, when I control them the first time, then you have, oh, which one I do hit? It's like left, right, and then, oh, wrong click, and suddenly, oh, the mirrors fold in. Damn it, wait a bit, that's the traffic, and oh, okay, fold them out again, and then when you want to control them, again, capacitive buttons for up and down, of course, it's all feasible. You can do it, you can live with it. The question is just, is it better than the outgoing model in the control? No, it's not. It's worse, to control than the outgoing model. And that's a problem. Also, you know, the fancy infotainment system and so on. Yeah, I mean, it looks cool. And the left side here is also fast to control. But then once again, capacitive buttons while driving, you don't have the best feeling for it. And I want to concentrate on the traffic situation when I'm driving a vehicle. When everything is going autonomous and I'm probably jobless or something, and we all better kill ourselves, then, okay, then everything can be capacitive, whatever. We don't care on our smartphones. But as long as we drive vehicles, I want the real buttons, period.